Everyone, I'm creating this video to show you how to use Scrible. We will be using Scrible for our Project 3 as we look at websites based on a conspiracy theory that you've chosen. So to get started with Scrible, the thing to do is to go to the Scrible website, and that is scrible.com. And once you're at the Scrible website, if you've created an account, you can sign in, pressing this button here labeled Sign In. Or you can sign up free to create an account and follow the steps. So I already have a Scrible account, so I'm going to choose Sign In. So once I'm signed into Scrible, I can see a list of the websites that I've used, that I have created annotations on, and Scrible keeps track of those websites. If I have not found a website yet, I would open a new tab and go to Google and search for my conspiracy theory. And I'm going to use this page here, so I'm going to select it. So I'm on the page that I'd like to use, but there is not a Scribble toolbar icon up here on the top, as you see. So I will want to open another page, and I want to search for Add the Scribble toolbar, because I need to add the toolbar to my page. And here I'm going to choose Install the Scribble toolbar. And you'll need to do this every time you use a new computer. You'll want to make sure that you install the Scribble toolbar. It's important to use Chrome. Scribble really only works well with Chrome, so don't use Firefox or Internet Explorer. So now I'm going to press Install Now, this rectangle here. And then it takes me to a new page where I'm going to press Add to Chrome. And I'm going to add the extension. And then you'll notice up here at the top of the page, now I have the Scribble icon. This will allow me to turn Scribble on and off when I am annotating a website. So I'm going to go back to the website that I want to use, and I'm going to press the S icon at the top here. That should turn on Scribble. If it doesn't work for some reason, you could always refresh the page, wait for it to load up again, and then up here press the button to turn on the Scribble toolbar. And this is taking just a moment because of the ads here. You can see it's loading up. So we're going to give it a moment to add. If you see this blue bar on your page, don't worry, because it will eventually add the Scribble toolbar. It's just if there's some ads, it just might take a moment. Okay, here we go. So it's loaded up, and now I can see the Scribble toolbar at the bottom of the page. But remember that the Scribble toolbar tells you with this little person icon if I'm signed in or not, if it's been saving my changes. This little kind of library looking building is our library where Scribble keeps track of the sources we have found and annotated. This button here, we can select it and create a permalink when we're ready to share our website with others. The button next to that is the highlighter, and I can choose from different colors. The button next to that is the button to make comments, and I can choose different colors for that as well. I can undo changes if needed with this button here, and I can report problems with this button here. And so to use Scribble, I will be reading through my website, and I'll be looking for the CRAAP criteria. Remember, that is currency. When was the source written? When was it published? Do the links work? If there are any references or other sources that are referred to, when were those published? So I'm going to look to see if this is current, or if I may need to find a source that's was written in the last 5 years that may be more current. Then I want to look for relevance. Relevance means, does this website connect to my topic? Is it going to help me understand this conspiracy theory? Will it help me understand the viewpoint of those who support the conspiracy theory? And will it also help me understand those who might challenge or dispute the conspiracy theory? I also want to look for authority, which is the author, and does the author have the expertise to be writing about this topic? I want to look for accuracy. Is the information here correct? Do I see any issues, with things that may not be correct? Or does it seem like this maybe is written by somebody who isn't informed on the topic? And then purpose is, do I see again, people who support the conspiracy theory, their perspectives, as well as people who, want to disprove the conspiracy theory. Basically, I want to make sure that the source is not biased, that it isn't just giving me one viewpoint while excluding other important viewpoints. And so with the website, I can highlight things that I see. I notice here that the date that this was written was October 19th, 2011. And so I can scroll over this. I can add a highlight to make it stand out. I might also add a comment here. So if I scroll over it again and I press the comment button, over here on the margin on the right side, I can type a note about the currency. So this source is somewhat outdated because it was published in 2011, which was 8 years ago. I may need to find a source, that was published in the last 5 years. Maybe there are other things that have been published that are different now, since it's been 8 years since this was written. And so once I type my comment here, my annotation, I click away from it and that saves the annotation. And I can see down here with the green check mark that Scribble is automatically saving any changes that I make. If there was an internet connection problem, I would see a red X here and I would know that my changes weren't being saved. And so there I have one comment about the currency, but I need to keep looking for other things. I need to consider, do the links work? And so as I'm scrolling through the text, I see a link here. I can right click on it and open it in a new tab just to make sure that it's working. And I see here that this link is working, so that's good. With sources that are outdated or not updated, you may find that the links are no longer working. They either don't go to the correct page or they go to something else. And so, check links, check to see if there are any references. I can scroll to the bottom to look and see if he's included any references. He hasn't. And so I may want to check some more of these links to see if they're working. Once I'm sure that the links are working, I can add a comment then too. If I want to, I could just go back up to my currency comment and click on it. And I can say the links are working correctly. And that also supports my idea that this website, it is current because it's within the last 10 years. But because it was published 8 years ago, I may want to check some of my other sources. But so far, it's passing the currency test. So again, I want to look for my other areas. I want to look for relevance. So as I'm reading through this piece, do I see where the author is sharing what people think if they believe in the conspiracy theory? And do I also see what people may say when they challenge the conspiracy theory? And if I see ideas that are relevant that I may want to use for my project, I might, with this section here, Shakespeare's name is on the plays and poems attributed to him. I might want to read this section and I can make my own comment here to kind of summarize what the author is saying. And so this would be for relevance, right? And I could write something like, the author is presenting one idea that challenges this conspiracy theory. And it'll note if I spelled something wrong, so I can go back and make changes. And I would look for I can click away and it'll save the change. I can look for the author's name, Alex Knapp, right? So I can refer to him. Click back in my comment. Alex Knapp explains that Shakespeare's name is included on his work. Because then I'll have this evidence that I can use to support those who challenge the conspiracy theory. And so I want to look for relevant information that I could use. I want to try to summarize it in my own words so that I can use this information as I'm writing my report for Project 3. And so I would keep looking for more information that may be relevant to my report. Then I would want to look at the author. And up here, Alex Knapp, I can see that this is a link. So if I right click on it, open in a new tab, here I can see an about page about the author, with his experience. And I may have some ads that pop up because, again, this is a commercial site. I can see other articles that the author has written. And I'm noticing that, with the articles that he's written and with his bio here on the side, that he typically covers science and technology topics. So I think that's kind of strange that he's writing about Shakespeare, right? Because Shakespeare's not really science or technology. And so I might, scroll over the author's name and create a comment about authority. And I might write something about how, Knapp has a background in science and technology, and how I think this is kind of strange that he's writing about this topic. I could also look on Google for more about him, see if he's written anything else about Shakespeare or theater, anything in that area. But here I'm seeing he is a published writer. He has several articles on the website, but I don't so far see evidence that he has a background in, Shakespearean studies. And so maybe this wouldn't pass the authority part of the CRAAP test. Then I'm going to look for accuracy. That means that I probably will need to check other sources to see if they also explain the things and make the argument that Alex Knapp makes. And purpose, does he, while he's challenging this conspiracy theory, does he still give, some details about why people may believe the conspiracy theory? Is he trying to, present multiple perspectives, or is he just making an argument, a one-sided argument? And so please make sure that you have included, I would say, at least, 5 comments, 5 of these comments on the side. And those 5 each one should focus on one of the areas of the CRAAP test. So have some information about currency, use the questions that we went over in the course to note things that you notice about the currency, the relevance, the authority, the accuracy, and the purpose of the site. And then once you're done reading through, add a final comment. It could be at the top or the bottom, where you explain if you think this is a trustworthy source. Like, this source, passes 3 out of 5 areas of the CRAAP test, and you would explain why, right? Why does it pass 3 areas? Why does it not pass 2 other areas? And we want to show that we're really considering if we should trust these sources or if we should look for something else. It's okay if a source doesn't pass all of the CRAAP tests, because we can, compare it to other sources too. We want to make sure that we use information that we can trust, though. So the more areas that the source passes, the better. And so once I'm ready to share my annotations, I can come down here and press this button that has the arrow in it and press permalink. And this is the website that I will copy. And so I can copy it, and I'll be able to go into our course and submit the link so that your instructor can see it, and so that we can come back to it later too. And so remember also that Scribble is saving your annotations, so we can go to our library, and then we can press the title of the source. It puts the most recent source at the top, and that'll take us back to the source where we'll be able to see our comments, see the comments that you've added. And so we want to read the entire web page, add comments throughout to look for the CRAAP areas, and decide, is this a trustworthy source? Is this something that I should use because it passes all of the areas of the CRAAP test? Or do I need to find something else to make my research really strong? I hope this video is helpful. You can save the link to it on YouTube. You can pause it and review it as needed to help you, annotate your sources. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.